Hey team, welcome to Talking About Sports with Raman. So, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, they've just surpassed the expectations this season. Starting the season on 0-5 game streak. Terrible, terrible to say the least. And, they had three coaches in the space throughout the whole season. Losing their star player, Derek Walton Jr., but they managed to get themselves and claw their way to the NBL Finals for the first time ever in franchise history. Seen as the underdogs? Yep. Definitely the underdogs going into the semis. I can definitely say, the Illawarra Hawks have been in the finals before. They've been a phenomenal side, winning the championship in 2001. So it's going to be really interesting to see, under their leadership and experience, against the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, a side that is relatively new in the competition, and has a mix of players that have been in and out of other different Australian teams throughout the league, and yeah, it's gonna be a worthwhile watch, definitely for sure. Matt Hunt and having Nathan Sobey are going to be very key and crucial for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, as well as Derek Walton Jr. coming back. They've got 2 weeks under their belt before they actually play. So the first, the game is actually next Thursday between Perth Wildcats and Melbourne United. So that's going to be an interesting series there. Personally, I am not a big fan of Melbourne United. I do have a soft spot for them. They do tend to have a lot of Breakers players that do play for the Breakers and then end up, going over to Melbourne United. Potentially probably due to the leadership of Dean Vickerman and, the experience that he had with the Breakers, winning that championship back in 2013. So yeah, it'll be key to see, who wins between that series, because that's shaping up to be probably, the semi-finals between those two teams, is going to be very crucial for who's going to come out on top and who's going to be in the finals caliber. So yeah, I'm very excited to actually see two teams between Southeast Melbourne Phoenix and Illawarra Hawks. We've seen usually the Kings, Melbourne United, Perth Wildcats, and yeah, throw in a mix there. Sometimes the other team with the Breakers are in the mix. But I haven't seen the Hawks and Southeast Melbourne Phoenix play ever in a finals match, so that's going to be really, really exciting. Yeah, coming back down from a 21 point against Adelaide 36ers. Yeah, they were definitely seen as the underdogs in that team. You have NBA superstar, ex-superstar Montrezl Harrell, some key imports for the 36ers. And the thing about the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, they actually have a lot of homegrown talent players as part of their team. I think the only import is Derek Walton Jr. So, yeah, he'll be wanting to shake off that hamstring injury that he's picked up recently. But with under 2 weeks under their belt, I'm pretty sure that he can come back and play that game one against the Illawarra Hawks. A standout player for the Hawks that I have found out throughout this whole season has been Tyler Harvey. When he's hot, he is hot. He is good. And it's going to be really interesting to see how the Illawarra Hawks match up with the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Yeah. So I think in terms of that, in terms of that, we will see a lot of defensive reads, a lot of 3-pointers shot from the Nathan Sobey and Matt Hunt. Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, I think, are personally going to be, mostly outside the key. They've got bigger men than the Illawarra Hawks, and I've seen that throughout the whole regular season. The Hawks just know how to play defensive basketball, and I think they get that from their coach, Justin Tatum. I've been reading on the news and a few posts that he's been, taken a lot of insight from the Boston Celtics from their championship run that they had a couple of seasons ago. And it'd be really interesting to see with the Illawarra Hawks, if they take, a few players from the Boston Celtics and incorporate that into their final structure, I personally feel that they do have the easier, I will say the slightly easier opponent in the semis, that being Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, because they've never been there before. So there is a lack of experience there in terms of their leadership. But for the other team, Melbourne United and Perth Wildcats, that's going to be an all-out punch fest, I will say. That's going to be a really tight series, and I think that's going to also go down to the wire. So if Melbourne Phoenix, Southeast Melbourne Phoenix are going to steal it at the end, I think it'll be in Game 3, where they will finish, Illawarra Hawks off on their home court. But, if they lose that first Game 1 in Illawarra, it's all over, baby. It's all over. So, yeah, I can definitely say that it's going to be a 2-1 series predicting that now. And if Bryce Cotton gets hot for the Perth Wildcats, and Melbourne United with Chris Goulding share lead the Defensive Player of the Year for the NBL, and Matt Dellavedova, if they can get, off to a great start with them, I personally feel that it's going to be a tight series, and that's also going to go down to Game 3. Yeah, so it's only a 3-game series in the semis with a 5-game series, first to 3 wins in the finals. So, yeah, more to come later on in the finals campaign. Yeah.